So if you were here on last night, we were discussing Adam and Eve, okay? And what happened with Adam, by the way, can y'all hear the music? So what happened with Adam and Eve, you know, they were banished. We all know the story, right? But then we were confirming that it was the 5 days and 5.5 days, which equates to 1,000 years is equal to Yahuwah. It was 1 day, right? So basically, you know, it blew my mind because listen, what we're doing right now, I never read Adam and Hawa, Eve. Okay. I never read this, but what we're doing is we're going to go back. For those of you who are new here, we're going to read the entire Apocrypha. I'm talking about from Adam and Hawa all the way to the book of Kaledi. I don't even know who that is. The book of Natsraim. Either way, we're going to read it all. And it's just going to be a live commentary. So that way y'all could be like, oh, shoot, yo, I heard this or whatever. And don't worry, I'm not going to skip. If you miss, you miss. So that's why I say just join in live and we just get into it. All right. So let's do it. So anyways, if you remember, the cherubim had this fiery sword as found in Genesis, which is confirmed also here in Adam and Hawa. OK, Eve. They could not go back into the garden and they fell to the ground because they was tripping, like they was scared because they were so terrifying that this cherubim that had eyes on its wings and all this stuff, scary being, was like, nah, bruh, hit the road, dude. This is private property. You couldn't come up in here. So, and also as we confirmed, the 5.5 days is 5,500 years. And as I said, within those first 500 years, right? That's when the Watchers came down and stuff, when Adam was still alive. And then right before Noah was alive and Seth and all them people was around. They was watching this stuff happening. I lied to you not. So anyways, moving on. Chapter 4. But Adam and Hawa, so Hawa, the reason why we're saying Hawa, and when I mean we, I'm not saying this is me, I'm just reading the scripture, is because the V was silent. For example, or not silent, it wasn't a V, it was W, okay? Like George W. Bush. So we had, which brings me to my next point, Volkswagen. I don't know. I'm just thinking about a Volkswagen. It's a W. I know there's a V and then a W for Volkswagen, but then you know that Mustachio man, don't say it in the chat. You'll get blocked. You'll enjoy the block party on tonight. But Mustachio, did y'all know that Mustachio was after the spear of destiny? Do any of y'all know that? Mustachio was after the spear of destiny that pierced Yahusha's side, because it's, you know what? This is how I say that all of you are crazy and y'all look at me like I'm crazy, right? Because if you even look at the latest and last, what's his name? Dang. What's his name? Harrison Ford movie? What is it? Indiana Jones, the last one? They were showing you everything in there, bro, of what Mustachio was after. He was after these artifacts for a reason, because they were real. Y'all don't want to believe me. So anyways, my mind just races all over the place. So we're just going to keep going. Chapter 4 of Adam and Eve. Let's begin. But Adam and Hawa cried for having come out of the garden, which was their first home. And indeed, when Adam looked at his flesh, he saw that it was altered. And he cried bitterly. He and Hawa cried over what they had done. And they walked and went gently down into the caves of treasures. Now, what did I say to y'all? Adam and Eve, that whole thing that you read in Genesis talking about they were naked. Do you know what naked means? When they found out they were naked and they had to clothe themselves, that's when they got skin. That's when they got skin. They were light beings. Some of y'all gonna be like, yo, that doesn't even make any sense. They had skin before. No, they were created as light beings. When they found out they were naked, it was skin. This crap, this is sin. This right here is sin. It's the largest organ in the body, but it's sin. That's why we age and all that stuff. They didn't have that. They weren't aging. Okay, you don't believe me. And as they came to it, Adam cried over himself and said to Hawa, look, which is Adam and Eve. And as they came to it, Adam cried over himself and said to Hawa, look at this cave that is to be our prison in this world and a place of punishment. What is it compared with the garden? What is its narrowness compared with the space of the other? What is this rock compared of those groves? What is the gloom of this cave compared with the light of the garden? Ludaka has a question. What about when it said God breathed into Adam and he became, that was after Yahuwah made him out of mud? Am I tripping? No, you're not tripping. But there also were, you can't confirm this or whatever, because apparently Genesis 2 is different from Genesis 3. Genesis 3 is when we find out about Adam, but Genesis 2 is talking about a different being. So I feel like the mud, in my personal opinion, the mud was like, I just don't think it was skin. Because think about it this way. What happens when you try sand? Whatever is mud or dirt or dust, whatever. What happens when you try sand into the fire? It turns into what? Glass? It's just something to think about. I'm not saying that this is golden, if that makes sense. It's not something, I'm not saying that what I just said was true or anything like this, but I'm saying they were light beings. When they sinned and they closed themselves and realized they were naked, it was because, I don't know, maybe it was a different type of mud, if that makes sense. I don't know. Different type of dust. I don't know. It's just something to think about. We're learning here. What is this, verse 6? What is this overhanging ledge of rock that shelters us compared with the mercy of Yahuwah that overshadowed us? What is this soil of the cave compared with the garden land? Well, Mr. Ludaka, you just asked, you said something about that, but let's read this again. You think I'm crazy. It says, what is this soil? They're talking about the cave that they're in. What is this soil of this cave compared with the garden land? It just tells you right there that clearly that was different soil. That was different. Whatever they were formed in was different than what they were in right now in punishment. I'm just saying, it says it right here. What is this soil of this cave compared with the garden land? Does this earth all right, check this out. If anyone asks what Bible this is, again, they're going to get blocked. Mods, if you're here, I don't care who it is. As soon as they ask which Bible this is, block them. It's that simple. Mute, then block. It's that simple. Because they know exactly what scripture I'm reading from. They refuse to search. They'd rather just try to interrupt like what I'm doing right now. And when I'm trying to freaking read, just listen and shut up. Y'all too used to these pastors that don't tell you to shut up. Listen. That's why you confused about what Bible to read. And if so, go back, then pin it or something. Easy. Get blocked. Mute, block. Get the hell up out of here. Who the hell you talking to, heifer? Bible version, please. Mute and block. That's simple. It's easy out here. It's easy in these streets. If you want a nice lukewarm church, then go straight to the First Baptist church in your area. Y'all don't be asking what Bible they be reading. Y'all don't ever ask what Bible they be reading. Dang. Back to verse 7. Hold on. Let me get my thank you for calling AT&T. What is the soil of this cave compared with the garden land? Does this earth scattered with stones compared to the garden planted with delicious fruit trees? And Adam said to Hawa, look at your eyes and at mine, which before beheld messengers praising in the Shamayim without ceasing. Now we do not see as we did. Our eyes have become of flesh. They cannot see like they saw before. Adam said again to Hawa, what is our body today compared to what it was in the former days when we lived in the garden? Hey, somebody asked. I'm just saying, their body was not skin. I'm telling you, it was something different. This right here is sin. This, I'm telling you, it's saying it right here, whether you want to believe it or not. I don't care, heifer, we're going to read it anyways. After this, Adam did not want to enter the cave under the overhanging rock. He never wanted to enter it again, but he bowed to Elohim's commands and said to himself, unless I enter the cave, I shall again be a transgressor. Chapter 5. May have to turn this on. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, I like that. That's good. Then Adam and Hawa entered the cave and stood praying in their own tongue unknown to us, but which they knew well. And Adam and Hawa entered the cave and stood praying in their own tongue unknown to us, but which they knew well. So Adam and Eve had their own language, as we just read here, right? But they both knew it well. They had a direct communication with Yahuwah. They were the first. And it says again, in their own tongue unknown to us, but which they knew well. Could it have been the language of the Shamayim? The language of the Watchers, which are the sons of Elohim? I don't know. And as they prayed, Adam raised his eyes and saw the rock and the roof of the cave that covered him overhead. This prevented him from seeing either the Shamayim or Elohim's creatures. So he cried and beat his chest hard. Say it with your chest. Until he dropped and was as dead. Boy, how many times do we keep on hearing that this dude keep dropping dead? Like, good grief, what's going on, heifer? Go get you some Motrin or Tylenol. You know I'm joking. There wasn't no Tylenol, nothing back then. But this man is tripping out. There's some real stuff going on. And Hawa sat crying, for she believed he was dead. Then she got up, spread her hands toward Elohim. I almost read that too fast. Okay. I read that a little bit too fast. I'm being completely honest with you. Again. Then she got up, spread her hands towards Elohim, appealing to him for mercy and pity, and said, O Elohim, forgive my sin, the sin which I committed, and don't remember it against me. For I alone caused your servant to fall from the garden into this condemned land, from light into this darkness, and from the house of joy into this prison. This woman took accountability and even said it was her fault. Oh, Elohim, hey, hold up. Yo, y'all gonna call me crazy about this. This is just what I'm thinking. You know how all of y'all are saying. Notice, nowhere in here have we heard about Cain, Abel, or Seth. I'm trying to tell you, she was pregnant. Yo, what's going on right now? She's pregnant. Y'all, okay, all right, I'm crazy, I know. O Elohim, look at this your servant fallen in this manner, and bring him back to life, that he may cry and repent of his transgression which he committed through me. Don't take away his soul at this time, but let him live, so that he may stand after the measure of his repentance, and do your will as before his death. But if you do not bring him back to life, then, O Elohim, take away my own soul, so that I will be like him, and leave me not in this dungeon alone, for I could not stand alone in this world without him. She loved that man. and took accountability. For you, O Elohim, caused him to fall asleep and took a bone from his side and placed the flesh back in its place by your divine power. And you took me, the bone, and made me a woman bright like him. Ludaka, my brother, you still here? What did I say? They were light beings. You know I ain't coming at you, Ludaka. I'm just saying. Let's read it again. Verse 10, chapter 5 of Adam and Hawa. And you took me, the bone, and made me a woman bright like him, with heart, reason, and speech, and flesh like to his own. And you made me after the likeness of his looks by your mercy and power. O Yahuwah, he and I are one, and you, O Elohim, are our creator. You are he who made us both in one day. Therefore, O Elohim, give him life so that he may be with me in this strange land while we live in it due to our transgression. But if you will not give him life, then take me, even me, like him, that we may both die the same day. And Hawa cried bitterly and fell on our father Adam because of her great sorrow. Okay, let's block alt-right. Let's get rid of him right now on tonight, moderators. Block alt-right. He wants a show. We'll get muted and blocked. Heifer. That simple. Chapter 6. But Elohim looked at them, for they had unalived themselves through great grief. And he decided to raise them and comfort them. Therefore, he sent his word to raise them that they should stand and be raised immediately. And Yahuwah said to Adam and Hawa, you transgress of your own free will. Unto you came out of the garden in which I had placed you. Of your own free will have you transgressed through your desire for divinity, greatness, and an exalted state, such as I have. Therefore I deprived you of the bright nature which you had then, and I made you come out of the garden to this land, rough and full of trouble. If only you had not transgressed my commandment and had kept my Torah and had not eaten of the fruit of the tree which I told you not to come near. And there were fruit trees in the garden better than that one. But the wicked Satan did not keep his faith and had no good intent towards me. And although I had created him, he considered me to be useless. And he sought the Almighty for himself. For this I hurled him down from the Shemayim, so that he could not remain in his first estate. It was he who made the tree appear pleasant to your eyes, until you ate of it by believing his words. Thus have you transgressed my commandment, and therefore I have brought on you all these sorrows. For I am Elohim, the creator, who when I created my creatures did not intend to destroy them. Okay, looks like we got a couple heifers out here. One big club of elites brainwashing. Yeah, mute and block. It's that simple. Mute and block. Mute. Listen. Yeah, thank you, Amani. Excellent work. But after they had greatly roused my anger, I punished them with grievous plagues until they repent. But if on the contrary, they still continue hardened in their transgression, they shall be under a curse forever. Remember, I told you that Lucifer, he saw everything. I'm sorry. I know a lot of people disagree with me. I'm trying to tell you, pre-Genesis 1, he saw what the hell was about to go down. I don't know why nobody understands that. He was up there. So it clearly says in here, but the wicked Satan did not keep his faith and had no good intent towards me. And although I had created him, he considered me to be useless, and he sought the Almighty for himself. He wanted to be like Yahuwah, but he could not. So I'm trying to tell you, this man saw everything. He was right there. Hold that horse. Somebody said, can I ask a question? Hey, be careful, my brother, because I got people with a hot thumb right now, ready to block. So what's your question? Hurry up and ask the question, okay? Because we're going on to verse 7. Hold on. Let's take a... Thank you for calling So good. Go ahead, Jamaican. Go ahead, Jamaican. No, I'm reasonable. I'm a reasonable person. Well, ask the question instead of saying I'm a reasonable. Hurry up. We on a time schedule here. Hurry up. Ask the question. Wasting all that time typing okay. Helpful. Hurry up. What's taking so long? Move. Ask the question. You should have copied and pasted. Slicks. No, you cannot ask a question. Hurry up. Where do white people come from? Block them. I already talked about this. Block them. Get rid of Itachi. Block them. Mute and block. Get rid of them. Itachi. Bumba clot with your Jamaican stuff. Where's my switch? Because y'all know, I know y'all trying to piss me off tonight. Quit playing with me. I know y'all trying to piss me off. Stop playing with me. Can I ask a question? Nobody's allowed to ask no more dang questions until the end of the show. Heifer, get up out of here. Thank you for calling AT&T. Moving on. Chapter 7. When Adam and Hawa heard these words from Elohim, they cried and sobbed even more. But they strengthened their hearts in Elohim because they now felt that Yahuwah was to them like a father and a mother. And for this very reason, they cried before him and sought mercy from him. Then Elohim had pity on them and said, O Adam, I have made my covenant with you, and I will not turn from it. Neither will I let you return to the garden until my covenant of the great 5.5 days is fulfilled. Remember, that's 5,000. Listen, I'm sorry for those of you that believe that we're in the year 1000. For those of you that believe that we're in the year 6000 and it's Satan little season and all this other crap, we have to go back to scripture. And you will notice they will never read the scripture. The reason why time is shortened, the reason why y'all all feel like things is just weird right now, why all things are being revealed, such as conspiracy and stuff, is because we're at the end right now. I lied to you not. I am almost 80, I am about 93% sure that we are currently living in the time that we are about ready to see his return. I lied to you not. I lied to you not. It's way too many movies, bro. And you have to understand these movies are the movies. You think the movies ain't got the Apocrypha? Dragon Ball Z, Transformers, Avengers, they all are using the Apocrypha because not only are they using the Apocrypha, they know the story because it's them. It's them. But y'all don't believe me. Then Adam said to Elohim, O Yahuwah, you created us and made us fit to be in the garden. And before I transgress, you made all beasts come to me that I should name them. Your grace was then on me, and I named every one according to your mind, and you made them all subject to me. But now, O Yahuwah Elohim, that I have transgressed your commandment, all beasts will rise against me and will devour me, and Hawa, your handmaid, and will cut off our life from the face of this earth. I therefore beg you, O Elohim, that since you have made us come out of the garden and have made us be in a strange land, you will not let the beasts hurt us. When Yahuwah heard these words from Adam, he had pity on him and felt that he had truly said that the beasts of the field would rise and devour him and Hawa, because he, Yahuwah, was angry with the two of them because of their transgressions. Then Elohim commanded the beasts and the birds and all that moves on the earth to come to Adam and to be familiar with him, and not to trouble him and Hawa, nor, which is Eve, nor any of the good and righteous among their offspring. Then all the beasts paid homage to Adam according to the commandment of Elohim, except the serpent, against which Elohim was angry. It did not come to Adam with the beasts. Chapter 8. Then Adam cried and said, "O Elohim, when we lived in the garden and our hearts were lifted up, we saw the messengers that sang praises in the Shemayim, which is the heavens. But now we can't see like we once saw. No, when we entered the cave, all creation became hidden from us." Then Yahuwah Elohim said to Adam, "When you were under subjection to me, you had a bright nature within you. And how many times, Ludaka?" And I am picking on you, Ludaka. Ludaka is my boy, but hear me out. How many times do we have to keep hearing bright? I told you they was light. The skin was sin. Our skin is sin. Again, then Yahuwah Elohim said to Adam, "When you were under subjection to me, you had a bright nature within you, and for that reason could you see distant things. But after you transgressed, your bright nature was taken out of you, and it was not left in you to see distant things, but only things near to you, as is the ability of the flesh, for it is brutish." When Adam and Hawa had heard these words from Elohim, they went their way, praising and worshiping him with a sorrowful heart. And Elohim ceased communicating with them. Chapter 9. Then Adam and Hawa came out of the caves of treasures and came near to the garden gate. There they stood and looked at it and cried for having gone away from it. Listen, this is how beautiful the Garden of Eden was. Hear me out. This is how beautiful the Garden of Eden was. These people dang near died 15 times already. And every time they moved, they crying. Because they knew it was perfection. And I think the reason why they were so upset, yes, we could talk about, Eve is pregnant at this time, because I feel like both of them is emotional. I told you, I know a lot of you don't agree with me. I feel like that's when LGHCTV was introduced to Adam. They all had a freaking, y'all don't want to believe me or not. You going to say that I'm being blasphemous. I'm trying to tell you, Eve is pregnant right now, not by Adam. In my personal opinion, this is why the hell they crying so much. Okay? I lied to you not. They know that Lucifer fell from heaven, right? Lucifer fell from heaven, and Adam and Eve was like, dang, well, if Lucifer fell from heaven, then, and you know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, did they actually know that Lucifer fell from heaven? Yo, that's another topic for another day. I'm not saying what I just said was correct or even wrong. Did they even know that Lucifer fell from heaven? I don't know. I'm just thinking about it. It's just something to think about. We learning together. Because they clearly stating they were able to see things in, I don't think so either. But then again, they were able to see the watchers. Timo 187 says, how would they know? I agree. No, I agree with you. I'm just saying, it's just something to think about. Like, just put a pin on it, And Adam and Hawa went south of the gate of the garden to the side of it, and found there the water that watered the garden, which came from the root of the tree of high. Yeah, see, exactly, the one and only. See, okay, that's why I'm saying put a pin on it. Look what the one and only just said. Right, didn't the angels have to bow down to Adam? Precisely. And that includes somebody like Lucifer. Lucifer was pissed the hell off. That's what I'm trying to tell you. I feel like they knew. It even says what we just read in here, that they were able to look in the Shemayim before they were kicked out and saw the watchers. They knew who Semyaz and Azazel was. We just read it. Okay. No, I'm crazy. And they saw that the water was split from there into the 4 rivers over the earth. Remember the 4 corners. Then they came near to that water and looked at it and saw that it was the water that came up from under the root of the tree of high in the garden. Okay, somebody in the comments, you can say something right now. Are we a tree? Hold up. No. Do you know where I'm going with this? No, you feel free to comment. Do you know where I'm going with this? No, let's read that again. Then they came near to that water and looked at it and saw that it was the water that came up from under the root of the tree of high in the garden. Bro, we are either on a tree, on top of the tree. I don't know. It's just put a pin on it. We're just discussing. Put a pin on it. And Adam cried and wailed and beat his chest for being cut out from the garden and said to Hawa, why have you brought so many of these plagues and punishments on me? Okay. All right. Should I end? Should I stop reading? What did I say during this entire time? What other plague? This woman is pregnant, bro. I'm not making this up. She's pregnant. Okay, Real Maya, get blocked, heifer. Get the hell up out of here. Mods, block him. Block him. Again, and Adam cried and wailed and beat his chest for being cut out from the garden and said to Hawa, why have you brought so many of these plagues and punishments on me, on yourself, and on our descendants? We're talking about a seed war, brother. We're talking about a seed war. She's the responsible for the beginning of this demonic seed war. It's not my words. We just read it. Okay, Spawn says you need Christ in your life. Okay, well, let's get you to meet him first, the Antichrist. Get muted and blocked. Simple. And Hawa said to him, what is it you have seen that has caused you to cry and to speak to me in this manner? And he said to Hawa, do you not see this water that watered the trees of the garden and flowed out from there that was with us in the garden? Yo, y'all ever read the Songs of Solomon? You know when they talking about the garden, I think y'all about to miss what I'm about to say. What does the Songs of Solomon say? Whenever they talking about the garden and his tree was sweet to my taste. Am I crazy? They wasn't. Okay, maybe, you know what? Maybe I am that crazy. I'm trying to tell you she's pregnant. She's pregnant, bro. Songs of Solomon, when they talking about the tree and it's sweet to my taste and his garden and all that stuff, is talking about Shaboodle. She's pregnant. I've never read this before. And when we were in the garden, we did not care about it. But since we came to the strange land, we love it and turn it to use for our body. But when Hawa, Imani says the vessels are formed like a tree. Y'all keep talking about it's a snake. I told you it was the first signs of a BBC. And we talking about the network. But when Hawa heard these words from him, she cried, and from the soreness of their crying, they fell into that water. They would have put an end to themselves in it. What the hell, bro? How many dang times have we read since I've been on live that they trying to unalive themselves? As never again to return and behold the creation, for when they looked at the work of creation, they felt they must put an end to themselves. Then Elohim, chapter 10. Then Elohim merciful, and hold on. Thank you for calling AT&T. Then Elohim, merciful and gracious, looked at them as they were lying in the water and close to death. And he sent the messenger who brought them out of the water and laid them on the seashore as dead. Then the messenger went up to Elohim and said, O Elohim, your creatures have breathed their last breath. Then Elohim sent his word to Adam and Hawa, who raised them from their death. Yo, bro, I can see Adam and Eve waking up like, dog, let us die, dang it. We trying to die. This now number 4. Let us go. But Yahuwah's like, nah, brother. You can't unalive yourself. You gonna have to feel this pain because you got stuff to do. You got stuff to do on tonight. Okay, since you want to you want to know so much about the tree of knowledge, well, you gonna have to live the tree of knowledge right now of good and evil. You want all this freaking knowledge. Stay awake. Wake up. Don't try to go to sleep. I'm gonna wake you up every last time. And Adam said, after he was raised, O Elohim, while we were in the garden, we did not require or care about this water. But since we came to this land, we cannot do without it. Then Elohim said to Adam, while you were under my command and were a bright message. Okay, your coincidence, bro, why you always shouting? Get blocked. Enter the block train, heifer. That's simple. Like, I don't even understand. Why even join? Get the hell up out of here. Find another place, heifer. Then Elohim said to Adam, while you were under my command and were a bright messenger, you did not experience this water. But now that you have transgressed my commandment, you cannot do without water to wash your body and make it grow. For it is now like that of breasts and is in what of water. Joe mama, get muted and blocked. Get the hell up out of here. You not welcome. Get muted and blocked. When Adam and Hawa heard these words from Elohim, they cried a bitter cry, and Adam entreated Elohim to let him return into the garden and look at it a second time. But Elohim said to Adam, I have made you a promise. When that promise is fulfilled, I will bring you back into the garden, you and your righteous descendants. So what are we, class? Wake up. What are we? We are the descendants of Adam and Eve. And it says here that because you did all of that stuff, now we got to do 5.5 days. You're going to have to go through all of this stuff. We talking about you, Imani. We talking about you, Ludaka. We talking about you, Leah. We talking about you, David. We talking about all y'all in here. We about to return there. New Jerusalem, Zion. We going back. What you think this second Exodus is going to be about? God does not need you to speak for him. Everyone will be taught by God, not you. Easy. Go get taught by the block machine. It's that simple. JG, get blocked. Muted and blocked. Helpful. Adam and Hawa. And Elohim ceased to commune with Adam. Okay. Right. So chapter 11. It says, Adam and Hawa then felt themselves burning with thirst and heat and sorrow. And Adam said to Hawa, we shall not drink of this water, even if we were to die. O Hawa, when this water comes into our inner parts, it will increase our punishments and that of our descendants. I don't know. I'm not saying I don't. I'm not. When I say I don't know, I'm just saying that, Both Adam and Hawa then went away from the water and drank none of it at all, but came and entered the cave of treasures. But when in it Adam could not see Hawa, he only heard the noise she made. Neither could she see Adam, but heard the noise he made. Then Adam cried in deep affliction and beat his chest. How many times you got to beat your chest? And got up and said to Hawa, where are you? And this also proves they were light. This proves they were light. I'm sorry. This proves they were light. Because the reason why they couldn't see each other is because they were light. So when they were in this cave, they couldn't see anything because and I know what you're going to say. Oh, well, maybe because there was already light in the garden and stuff. No. They were light. That's why they were able to see each other. Now they're entering into this garden and she's like, where the hell is you? Yeah, they chose darkness. They lost their light. And she said unto him, look, I am standing here in this darkness. Yikes. He then said to her, remember the bright nature in which we lived while we abode in the garden? O Hawa, remember the glory that rested on us in the garden? O Hawa, remember the trees that overshadowed us in the garden while we moved among them? O Hawa, remember that while we were in the garden, we knew neither night nor day. Glapadu, whatever your name is, you can get the glapan out in the block section. Heifer. Think of the tree of high, from below which flowed the water and the shed splendor over us. Remember, O Eve, the garden land and the brightness of it. Think of think of the garden in which was no darkness while we lived in it. But no sooner did we come into this cave of treasures than darkness surrounded us all around until we can no longer see each other, and all the pleasures of this life has come to an end. Verse 12. Put a 1 in the chat if you want me to keep going. Put a 2 in the chat if you want me to shut this down. Okay, all right, fine. Okay, golly. All right, fine. We'll keep it moving. Okay, all right, stop. All right, dang. Heifers. Verses 12. Then Adam beat his tendernism. Who spoke and wrote for the devil in the Bible? I don't know, but that's a stupid question, but you can stay. We could save that for another day, heifer. Then Adam beat his chest, he and Hawa, and they mourned the whole night until the first light of dawn. And they sighed over the length of the night in the 8th month. Okay. Hold on. Somebody get rid of Ahmed, OOM 500. Is this the Bible? Block him. That's simple. Asking, is this just get out of here. Go somewhere else, bro. Get out of here. Why y'all don't even want to be here, heifer? Block him. Asmoon. Let's read this again because I think we missed it. Then Adam beat his chest, he and Hawa, and they mourned the whole night until the first light of dawn, and they sighed over the length of the night in the 8th month. I don't know, 8th month? Maybe because she's now in her 3rd trimester. She's about ready. I don't know. It's just a funny number. See, it says here, and they sighed over the length of the night in the 8th month. 1 more month and we get birth to Cain. If you think I'm capping, I guarantee you, I haven't even read anything. I guarantee you if we get to that point, then we're going to start seeing, and then she birthed Cain. Watch. And Adam beat himself. Hey, yo, Adam, bro, you going to have to chill, dog. Adam, you really going to have to chill. Like, it's really not that serious. I mean, it is. I'm just being funny. But dang, bro, this is why I'm trying to tell you. This dude was pissed the hell off. First of all, he lost his little kingdom and his bitch is pregnant. And he know it's not his. And Adam beat himself and threw himself on the ground in the cave from bitter grief and because of the darkness, and lay there as dead. But Hawa heard the noise he made in falling on the ground, and she fell about for him with her hands and found him like a corpse. Dang, this is now number 5. This is now number 5. Listen. Just imagine you have the only woman's in the world, the baddest chick in the world. You know what? I bet you she had the fattest buttons and she had the most voluptuous blitties. And she probably smelled like walking right past Bath and Booty Works. Okay? All them scents. I mean, she was perfect. And now she's pregnant and you know it ain't yours. Then she was afraid, speechless, and she remained by him. But the merciful Yahuwah looked on the death of Adam and on Hawa's silence from fear of the darkness. And the word of Elohim came to Adam and raised him from his death and opened Hawa's mouth that she might speak. Then Adam, someone says it's Lucifer's, Then Adam stood up in the cave and said, O Elohim, why has light departed from us and darkness covered us? Why did you leave us in the extensive darkness? Why do you plague us like this? And this darkness, O Yahuwah, where was it before it covered us? Is it because of this that we cannot see each other? For so long as we were in the garden, we neither saw nor even knew what darkness was. I was not hidden from Hawa, neither was she hidden from me. Until now she cannot see me, and no darkness came over us to separate us from each other. But she and I were both in one bright light. I saw her and she saw me. Yet now since we came into this cave, this cave darkness has covered us and separated us from each other so that I do not see her, and she does not see me. O Yahuwah, will you then plague us with this darkness? Chapter 13. Then when Elohim, who is merciful and full of pity, heard Adam's voice, he said to him, O Adam, so long as the good messenger was obedient to me, a bright light rested on him and on his hosts. But when he transgressed my commandment, I disposed of him. Of that bright nature. Hold up. And he became dark. Hold up. O Adam, so long as the good messenger was obedient to me, a bright light rested on him and on his host. Somebody asked, excuse me. Somebody asked a question: Is garden, is the garden heaven? No, it's not. It's clearly they were showing. No, Adam and Eve were on earth, the first heaven. The second heaven, which is a Shemayim, that's where all of them, all the creatures, the cherubim and all that stuff was there, right? But the third heaven is where Lucifer and them were. So let's read this again. O Adam, so long as the good messenger was obedient to me, a bright light rested on him and on his hosts. So this is talking about, in my opinion, that's Lucifer. That's got to be Lucifer. I don't know. Put it in the chat. Do you think this is Lucifer? I'm almost certain that's Lucifer. Let's read this again in context. Then when Elohim, who is merciful and full of pity, heard Adam's voice, he said to him, O Adam, so long as the good messenger was obedient to me, a bright light rested on him and on his hosts. But when he transgressed my commandment, I disposed him of that bright nature, and he became dark. Someone says someone says he's talking about Lucy. Yeah, he's talking about Lucy. Justin Long, just take your time commenting, because I don't want to block you. You're annoying the hell out of me right now. I'm just gonna be totally honest with you. Just save your questions for the end. We're here all trying to learn, and I'm sure you're doing your own thing, but let's just stay on topic here. And again, as you should know, I don't care about nobody in this chat. You will get blocked. I don't care who you is, heifer. And when he was in the Shamayim, in the realms of light, he knew nothing of darkness. Yes, GT Tone says, who was once the light bearer? Yeah, that was him. It was Lucifer. But he transgressed, and I made him fall from the Shamayim onto the earth. And it was this darkness that came over him. And O Adam, okay, hello, everyone. He found out. He's learning about Lucifer right now. Hear me out. This is what I understand, and tell me if this is correct. Not that I am right, but that what I'm understanding is right. Okay, family of Jesus and Muhammad, Saul, get blocked. It's that simple. Mods, block that heifer. So it says, and O Adam, while in my garden and obedient to me, that bright light rests also on you. But when I heard of your transgression, I took from you that bright light, yet of my mercy, I did not turn you into darkness, but I made your body a body of flesh. Ludaka, where you at? Ludaka, where you at? Let's read that again. But when I heard of your transgression, I took from you that bright light, yet of my mercy, I did not turn you into darkness because they were light, but I made your body a body of flesh, over which I spread this skin in order that it may bear cold and heat. They were light. I lied to you not. I've never read this before. If I had let my wrath fall heavily on you, I should have destroyed you, and had I turned you into darkness, it would have been as if I had killed you. But in my mercy, I have made you as you are when you transgressed my commandment. O Adam, I drove you from the garden and made you come forth into this land, and commanded you to live in this cave, and darkness covered you, as it did over him who transgressed my commandment. Thus, O Adam, has this night deceived you? It is not to last forever, but it is only of 12 hours. When it is over, daylight will return. Uh-oh. Okay, anyone asking? Get blocked on tonight. Get blocked. Over here with that feminine energy crap. Get out of here, heifer. The hell up out of here. Get blocked. Get blocked. Mods, what you doing? You sleep? No, get anyone asking block. Do I have to do it myself? Fine, I'll do it. Mute. Block. Heifer. Get up out of here. So right here, thus, O Adam, has this night deceived you? It is not to last forever, but is only of 12 hours. When it is over, daylight will return. So listen, what are we at right now? A 24-hour day, right? In the 12. So 12 hours we have light, 12 hours we have darkness, for example, give or take. Just hear me out, okay? Let's not get into semantics. This is when time, I believe, was created. There was no time prior to the garden. I lied to you not. There was no time. There was no aging. Time is what ages you. It's sin. Do not sigh or be moved, and do not say in your heart that this darkness is long and drags on wearily. Do not say in your heart that I plague you with it. Strengthen your heart and be not afraid. This darkness is not a punishment. Adam, I have made the day and have placed the sun in it to give light, in order that you and your children should do your work. Salt. Prophet, get blocked. Mods, block prophet. Just get out of here, heifer. It's that simple. For I knew you would sin and transgress and come out of this land, yet I wouldn't force you, nor be heard over you, nor shut up, nor doom you through your fall, nor through your coming out from light into darkness. nor yet through your coming from the garden into this land. For I made you of the light, and I willed to bring out children of light from you that were like you. But you did not keep my commandment one day until I had finished the creation and Barak everything in it. Then concerning the tree, I commanded you not to eat of it. Yet I knew that Satan, who deceived himself, would also deceive you. So Yahuwah knew all of this stuff. So, okay, let me explain something to you real quick. A lot of you are going to disagree with me. It says, and God made them in his image because God is light. Yeah. Check me out right here. What we just read, it says, then concerning the tree, I commanded you not to eat of it. Yet I knew that Satan, who deceived himself, would also deceive you. A lot of people ask this question and they'd be like, well, if Yahuwah knew all of this, why would he create it? And a lot of people disagree when I say this. The whole purpose of creating Lucifer was to create a righteous being. Tell me I'm crazy. This is what I'm trying to tell you. If we were to throw this Bible out right now, which we won't, if we were to throw this Bible out right now and find the story of Genesis 1 as to why he rebelled, he was pissed. K-Chase, get blocked. K-Chase, get blocked. K-Chase, get blocked. Mods, block him. Mute, block. K-Chase, heifer, get out of here. Block. Simple. Hear me out when I say this. Let's read it again. Then concerning the tree, I commanded you not to eat of it. Yet I knew that Satan, who deceived himself, would also deceive you. Yahuwah had to create Lucifer in order to create Adam, to create a righteous being. This is why I'm trying. Don't take my word for it. In fact, definitely don't take my word for it. This is why Lucifer was pissed off from the very beginning, because he saw this freaking blueprint. He said, what was the purpose of ever creating me if you're just going to create somebody that I have to freaking bow down to? So of course I'm going to rebel against you because I have my own plan. And my plan is I'm going to be just like you, but I'm going to do it in a much better way. I'm just saying, you ever hear those stories about people who were ex bank robbers? And or ex unalivers, or ex, like whenever all these Netflix films and stuff, when they saying they did this and they did that, you've ever heard, yeah, we know TikTok treasure trends. Come on, don't say the obvious, Captain Nincompoop. Trying to rain on the parade. What I'm trying to say is, if you notice all those movies or all these people that used to do certain things, you always hear the story that when they're done doing whatever, they would say, well, this is how I would do it. So this is what I'm trying to say to you, that if I were Yahuwah, which I am not, I would never. If I were Yahuwah and I had some guys, some goons next to me, cherubim, seraphim next to me, and all of them are worshiping me, but one. That means Michael, Gabriel, Uriel, all of them saw the blueprint as well, but the only one who rebelled was Lucifer. Now hear me out. The reason why I say the only one that rebelled, obviously a third went with him, is because once he said to Yahuwah, I'm about to do this on my own and create my own race because you not finna replace me. Prince of Persia, come here. Prince of Grecia, come here. Let's get the hell up out of here, bro. Let's get the hell up out of here and create our own world. And I would even say Lucifer still had to submit, obviously, to Yahuwah because he can't do nothing without Yahuwah. Still submitted to him and said, listen, I hate you, Dad. Give me what is due. Don't believe me? If you don't believe that that's what Lucifer said, then why else would Yahuwah give him what we're living in right now? Lucifer still submitted to Yahuwah's authority and said, I hate you so much, I'm going to rebel against you. I want my inheritance. So as his son, because it says in here that Yahuwah created Lucifer as his son. He said, okay, fine, you're going to rebel against me? Well, listen, I'll give you your own freaking world, because you still are my son. I'm not saying he sympathized, or I'm not saying that he said that I love Lucifer. I mean, I don't know. This is me talking right now. I'm trying to paint the story. You see that there were daddy issues that were happening. This is the first sign of daddy issues. Lucifer is pissed the hell off because his own daddy is about to replace him, made in the image of him. And then the very image. Yeah, prodigal son. Where do you think these stories even come from? Where do you think the scripture stories even come from? Somebody said the prodigal son. Someone, it's always a return back to Yahuwah, right? So this is what I'm trying to tell you is, as beautiful as these stories are, Yahuwah had to create Lucifer as an example. But Lucifer didn't understand this. And all Lucifer had to do was just worship, just like Michael, just like Gabriel, just had to worship him and just mind his freaking business. But Yahuwah had to create Lucifer for the sole purpose of creating man. And in order to create man, had to create the perfect and righteous being. TikTok treasure trends, get blocked. Actually, mods, let me do it on my own. Mute and block. Get the hell up out of here, Effa, if you don't mind. So anyways, so I made known to you by means of the tree not to come near him. And I told you not to tree. How much time we got? Okay. Not to eat of the fruit thereof, nor to taste of it, nor yet to sit under it, nor to yield to it. Okay. Let's get to the next page. Had I not spoken to you, O Adam, concerning the tree, and had I left you without a commandment, and you had sinned, it would have been an offense on my part, for not having given you any order, you would turn around and blame me for it. Dang. That's deep. Bro, that's deep. Someone said Satan is a heifer. Yo, let's read this again. And this is Yahuwah speaking. Had I not spoken to you, O Adam, concerning the tree, and had I left you without a commandment, and you had sinned, it would have been an offense on my part. This is showing true love and humility on Yahuwah's part. For not having given you any order, you would turn around and blame me for it. Why do you think scripture even talks about that as a father? And I think I want to take back Yahuwah showed humility. I don't know if that was correct or not, but hear me when I say this. That I think Yahuwah loved Adam and Eve so much. Yahuwah loved Adam and Eve so much that he shielded them on top of a shield. Like, does that make sense? Like, he protected them, knowing what they were going to do. So for him not to take the blame, not as in he can't, well, I would say he can't take the blame. I'm just thinking where he's saying, like, listen, I love you so much. I don't want you to hate me. Yahuwah is literally saying, I love you so much. I don't even want you to hate me. So I'm going to send my son, and we haven't even got to that story yet. I'm going to send my own son and watch him be crucified. I'm going to put myself and my son on the line. I love you that much that I'm not going to let nobody harm you, bro. That even if the trap is out there, I was trying to tell you, my brother, yo, just don't go to that tree. Don't do nothing, bro. And you still did it. But I love you so much that I didn't strike you. And you see, he was raised dang near 15 quadrillion times, him and Adam and Eve. They was like, wait a minute. What? Every time they wake up, they go back to sleep. Because I guarantee you this, had Yahuwah not said anything, don't touch that tree, they would have blamed Yahuwah and they would have honored darkness. What other option was there? If Yahuwah didn't warn them, they would have worshiped darkness. But I commanded you and warned you, and you fell, so that my creatures cannot blame me, but the blame rests on them alone. And O Adam, I have made the day so that you and your descendants can work and toil in it. And I have made the night for them to rest in it from their work, and for the beasts of the field to go forth by night and look for their food. But little of darkness now remains, O Adam, and daylight will soon appear. Now, I am about to come up on chapter 14. Chapter 15 is one verse. Chapter 16 is a little verse, right? And I'm going to stop at verses 17. No, I'm gonna stop at verses 18, chapter 18. So if you're still here, I'm gonna stop at chapter 18 because this is good. We're gonna stop at chapter 18, okay? So let's go to 14. Are you guys still with me? Is there a balance between dark and light? Mute and block. Get the hell up out of here. It's that simple. I ain't got no time for that. Hold on. Somebody said to block Justin Long. Let me see what he's saying. He's saying we had to be tempted for order. Okay, so mute and block. That simple. Get out of here, heifer. Justin Long, you are gone, and another person was gone. I mean, y'all just want to get blocked. Malachi in the Matrix says, what book is this? Easy. Mute and block. That's simple. Get the hell up out of here, heifer. I told you, don't be asking no questions. If you hear, don't ask no questions. I'm sorry. Don't ask questions about what book I'm reading. Sit down and listen and learn. I could tell y'all was problems in school. Thank you for calling AT&T. For those of you who don't understand why I'm doing that is because this is an Indian drink and it comes from, it's called a mango lassi or mango lassi. And it's an Indian drink. This joint tastes good. Thank you for calling AT&T. I need to stop because I think my neighbors are AT&Ts. By the way, if you are an AT&T, I'm not making fun of you. I'm definitely making fun of you. But I think we all should be, we need to get back to making fun of people, okay? Oh, hold on. No, I can't say that. TikTok won't block me. Deja is the real Christ? Well, that's easy. Go find him in hell as we mute and block you. It's that simple. It's that simple, heifer. Chapter 14, and we're going to stop at 18. Then Adam said to Elohim, O Yahuwah, take my... This dude said, I'm ready to go. Take my soul and let me not see this gloom anymore, or remove me to some place where there is no darkness. But Yahuwah Elohim said to Adam, I say to you, indeed this darkness will pass from you every day. I have determined for you until the fulfillment of my covenant, when I will save you and bring you back again into the garden. And into the house of light you long for, in which there is no darkness. I will bring you to it in the reign of the Shamayim. Again, Elohim said to... Hold on, I will bring you to it in the reign of the Shamayim. I don't know. I'm starting to think. Listen, guys, listen. We are just brainstorming here. If I'm wrong, feel free to say that I'm wrong. It's fine. I'm starting to be a little I don't know. I think we're going to be going to heaven, and heaven is going to, like, it's going to be raised or something like that. I don't know how to explain it. Like, I don't know how to explain it right now. It's just the way that it's going based off of this text. I will bring you to it in the reign of the Shemayim. The Shemayim is the heavens. What heaven are you talking about? First, second? I don't think it's the third, because I don't even think anybody can go to the third except for Michael and all of them. I don't know. I'm just thinking. And Elohim said to Adam, all this misery that you have been made to take on yourself because of your transgression will not free you from the hand of Satan, and it will not save you, but I will. So it's Jada, you know, it's okay. Hear me out. The scripture does say that heaven will be on earth, right? As it is on earth, so shall it be in heaven, or as it is in heaven, so shall it be on earth. Our Father, thy kingdom have, okay, ETIM. No, I don't know. I'm just thinking, like, I'm pretty sure scripture definitely says that heaven will be on earth, but maybe that's what he's talking about. I will bring you into it, into the reign of the Shemayim. Okay, yes, you're right. So the heaven is going to be here, but the reign of the heavens is going to be on earth for eternity. Okay, sounds like abundance. Well, you sound like a new ager, so head over to the block section. That's simple. Heffa, get the hell up out of here. So Satan, it will not save you from the darkness, but I will. When my Ben shall come down from the Shemayim and shall become flesh of your descendants and take on himself the infirmity from which you suffer, then the darkness that covered you in this cave shall cover him in the grave when he is the flesh of your descendants. Adam knew. Okay, somebody asked what is happening. Well, go find out in the block section. First class into the block section. Get the hell up out of here, Heffel. Moving on earth as it is in heaven. Okay. So where it says right here, it says, when my Ben, which is talking about Yahusha. Adam knew who Yahusha was. Enoch knew who Yahusha was. Ezra knew who Yahusha was. John the Baptist knew who Yahusha was. Yo, all these people knew who Yahusha was. So everything that we're reading from the beginning of time that happened, they knew what the heck was about ready to go down. This is why I even say that even people like Moses and Abraham, their faith was so strong. Their faith was so strong because they was like, oh yeah, we know Adam. Yeah, I mean, because Seth, Noah, Adam was still alive with Noah. Like, they was showing them this stuff. I lied to you not. They knew precisely who these people were or who was finna come. It even says when he is the flesh of your descendants. It says that Yahusha is of your Yahusha is of the descendant of David. And he who is without years shall be subject to the reckoning of years, of times, of months, and of days, and he shall be reckoned as one of the sons of men in order to save you. Someone says, can you unblock Malachi in the Matrix? He loves your stuff, and he was asking a general question. Yeah, block her too. Thank you. Yeah, block her too. Get the hell up out of here. I don't care. What do you mean he loves your stuff? Well, stop asking it. I don't care. Stop asking genuine questions then. It's that simple. Everybody, somebody in spirit. Third eye downloads, easy. Get blocked, Heffel. Where you at? Oh, somebody already blocked him? Yeah, yeah, block that heifer up out of here. We don't believe in none of that crap. Third eye heifer stuff. That's a bunch of heiferdry. That's a new word we just created on tonight. Heiferdry. And he who is without years shall be subject to the reckoning of the years, of times and months and of days. And he shall be reckoned as one of the sons of men in order to save you. And Elohim ceased to commune with Adam. Verses 15 or chapter 15. It says, then Adam and Hawa cried and were sorrowful because of Elohim's word to them, that they should not return to the garden until the fulfillment of the days decreed on them, but mostly because Elohim had told them that his ben should suffer for their deliverance. Yeah, somebody mark that, please. Write that down. Heffatry. That's a new word. I'm actually going to put that on a, that's a bunch of heffatry. Bro, that's a bunch of heffatry. Nah, seriously, that's a bunch of heffatry. I'm about to make that into a shirt. Y'all getting on my nerves. All of that stuff is a bunch of heffatry. Okay? Right. Yeah, I see you, Monty. I'm about to put that on there. Seriously, I'm about to put that on a shirt tonight. I lied to you not, for everybody to purchase. Heffatry. Okay? Copyright. And this, chapter 16. And this, Adam and Hawa continued to stand in the cave, praying and crying, until the morning dawned on them. And when they saw the light return to them, they refrained from being afraid and strengthened their hearts. Then Adam came out of the cave, and when he came to the mouth of it and stood and turned his face towards the east and saw the sunrise and glowing rays and felt the heat thereof on his body, he was afraid. Yo, I feel bad for Adam, yo. I feel bad for Adam, yo. I really do. This guy he's going through it, bro. He was afraid of the heat. These people did not know what hot and cold was. Hot and cold is sin. Even in the book of Zechariah. Yeah, Zechariah, it talks about Yahuwah. What was it, Zechariah or Zephaniah? Whatever. That there's not going to be no hot and cold in heaven. It's just a perfect temperature. He was afraid of it and thought in his heart that his flame came forth to plague him. He then cried and beat his chest. Was he a monkey? How many times does he got to beat his chest? What was he doing? Oops, it's hot. Dang. You going through it. Man up, Adam, man up. Say, now I ain't gonna lie, yo. He was scared. He was terrified. I mean, you didn't know what heat was. You didn't know what frost was. You didn't know what night was. You didn't even know what day was. It was just, when Yahuwah created this in 7 days, it was perfection. It was just it. It just came to be. Which brings me to my next point. They was talking about darkness. I don't know. I'm thinking about it. They was talking about darkness. What happened when Yahuwah in Genesis said that the world was formed without void? Was the void Lucifer? I don't know. I don't know. I'm not saying that's true. Just hear me out. I'm just thinking. Was the void and darkness, was it Lucifer? I don't know. I'm just thinking. Because they talk about darkness as we read. Just put a pin on it. Just put a pin on it. So Adam, he then cried and beat his chest, and he fell on the ground on his face and made his appeal, saying, O Yahuwah, plague me not, neither consume me, nor yet take away my life from the earth. For he thought the sun was Elohim. Oh, he thought the sun was Elohim. But where do we get sun worship from? Yahuwah is not the sun. And we know this. This is without scripture. Someone said Lucifer. We're in class right now. We're learning this. The first I'm reading this, put a pin on it. For he thought, because you know what I notice about reading? When you read, it hits you about 3 days later. I'm telling you, about 8 days later, sometimes even a month. Like, yo, no, hold on. I definitely read that, bro. For he thought the sun was Elohim, because while he was in the garden and heard the voice of Elohim and the sound he made in the garden and feared him, Adam never saw the brilliant light of the sun. Neither did his flaming heat touch his body. Therefore, he was afraid of the sun when flaming rays of it reached him. Okay, the sun is hot. Dang, I just made a video about that the sun is not hot. But hold up. No, there's two suns. Hold on. Does anybody in here ever heard the theory that there's two suns? That there is a sun that Yahuwah created and the second sun is an artificial one? That's the one that's not burning. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Wait, hey. Yeah, someone says it's a fake one. Okay, a son of righteousness be a false son. I don't know. Yeah, NASA. I don't know. Come on, guys. We just learning. I heard about the second. Show them. Hold on. Who the hell was that? Hold on. Show them. Agaweth? What the hell are you talking about? Oh, you don't even follow. Mute, block, simple. Confirm, access denied. Get the hell out of here with that heiferdry. I feel like it's a reflection of the firmament. Yeah. Sun is the ship cloud. Okay, Tyrone, poor guy. Have you heard of the AI Sun East? No, I haven't. Therefore, he was afraid of the sun when flaming rays of it reached him. He thought Elohim meant to plague him with it all the days he had decreed for them. We're almost done. For Adam also said in his thoughts that Elohim did not plague them with darkness, but he had caused this sun to rise and to plague them with burning heat. But while he was thinking like this in his heart, the word of Elohim came to him and said, Adam, get up on your feet. This sun is not Elohim, heifer, but it has been created to give light by day, that I spoke to you about in the cave, saying, the dawn would come and there would be light by day. But wait a minute. Can anyone in the chat help me out here, please? If Yahuwah created the sun, moon, and the stars before Adam was created, then how did they not know the sun? Just thinking. Is it because they were so freaking bright as light beings that the sun, they outshined the sun? I think I'm thinking too deep. Honestly. But I am Elohim who confronted you in the night. And Elohim ceased to commune with Adam. All right, chapter 17, and then we're done after chapter 17. Just thoughts. Yeah, remember when Moses was talking to Elohim? Yeah, I know. Why the hell did you say that? Remember when Moses was talking to Elohim? Why the hell would you say that? His face shined. Oh, you're right. Sorry. Excuse me. Sorry. You're right. You're right. Yes, his face did shine. It did glow. Then Adam and Hawa came out at the month of the cave and went toward the garden. But as they went near the western gate from which Satan came when he deceived Adam and Hawa, they found the serpent that became Satan coming at the gate, and it was sorrowfully licking the dust and wiggling on its breast on the ground because of the curse that fell on it from Elohim. Because the curse, the serpent was the most exalted of all beasts. Now it was changed and become slippery and the meanest of them all. And it crept on its breast and went on its belly. Before it was the fairest of all beasts, it had been changed and became the most ugly of them all. Instead of feeding on the best food, now it turned to eat the dust. Instead of living as before in the best places, now it lived in the dust. It had been the most beautiful of all beasts, and all stood speechless at its beauty. It was now abhorred of them. And again, whereas it lived in a beautiful home, to which all other animals came from everywhere, and where it drank, they drank also of the same. Now, after it had become venomous by reasons of Elohim's curse, all beasts fled from its home and would not drink of the water it drank, but fled from it. Dang, we're going to have to leave it there because now it's talking about the serpent in verse 18. Now we leaving. Maybe I'll come back tomorrow. Yeah, it's 8:41. I got to go to bed. That's some interesting stuff, don't you think? I think. Oh, you know what? Let's open up the panel for anyone that got questions. Let's see if I can still hear you. Hold on. And then we'll go to bed and then I'm done. Open up the panel, settings, fixed grid. 5, change. Okay, if you want to ask some questions, feel free to join up. Let's get 8. Go ahead and press the plus sign and ask your questions. Keep it under a minute. Don't explain. I'm not looking for you to explain nothing. Just ask the dang question. That's all. Caller, you're on the air. Sword of something.
Hey, bro. I was just asking you if you heard. I know you said you haven't heard about.
Sorry, hold up. I can't even hear you.
Making, but Russia and China. Okay.
Hold on. I can't even hear you. I can't even hear you. It's because how do I do this? It's because I'm still recording. No, I don't think I'll be able to.
Is the serpent the snake?
Let's do this. We're gonna get rid of Tyrone and block him immediately. Let me press pause on this music. Go ahead and ask again, Sword.
Okay. I was just asking if you've. I know you said you haven't heard of the artificial sun that Russia and China are making, but Russia and China made an artificial sun from the tokamak, and I was just curious your thoughts on if you think that's going to be that false sun.
Yeah, I think so. I think it will be the false. I think it is the false sun right now. I don't know. I think it's already up there. I don't know because that sun is not hot right now. But anyways, I don't know what the heck is going on with this is not going to work. I'll be honest with you because I can't even hear because it's recording. So I'm going to just close the panel. No disrespect to you, Mr. Sword, but it's because I can't even hear you because it's recording.
No worries, brother.
And I don't even have like my headphones or something like that. But yeah, let me just disconnect you and then maybe we could just have a little talk real quick. Let's go back to settings and go back to fixed panel, switch. Okay. So anyways, what did we just read? And we'll have some closing thoughts. If you're still here, we're going to have some closing thoughts. Thank you for calling AT&T. I don't know why my computer just shut off. Okay. Let's just get back to just some closing thoughts. So in my personal opinion, what I think is that, not what I think, is that she's pregnant this entire time. I'm not trying to make this about my own understanding. She's pregnant this entire time. He's upset. He keeps on unaliving himself because he's like, dang, yo, I hearkened to the woman. And that's why he even blamed her for this. And she even took accountability and said, I'm very sorry. I'm very sorry that this actually happened. Can you please forgive me or something like that? Whatever, right? We're just paraphrasing. So now they're trying to go back, as we just read. They're trying to go back to the garden. But now, because can y'all ask this question real quick? Do y'all really believe? Please, come on, open your mind for 5 seconds. I ain't talking about that third eye crap. A fruit is causing him to be like, I want to unalive myself 15 times, as we just read. A fruit did this? No. Can you please, a fruit? And now we just read, you're telling me that Yahuwah is raising them back up after they were unalive 15 times and they did it to themselves. You mean to tell me that Yahuwah is doing all of this? How simplistic do you think? Yes, I know Yahuwah is of the simple, but I'm saying he's simple to us. Yahuwah is simple to us. He makes things plain to us. He's not the author of confusion, but in his realm, there's something that had to be so egregious, that was so egregious. Exactly. Does says the BBC network. Precisely. I'm trying to tell you, it's so egregious that whatever happened, it caused the most beautiful serpent to be cursed and eat the dust as now an ugly, venomous snake? No, you cannot sit here and tell me that Yahuwah did all of this for one fruit. That doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. And then you have the story of Cain unaliving his brother. And then you have literally Yahusha himself, who Adam and Eve just now found out about. You mean to tell me that Yahusha has to come back, and the whole time that he was here, he kept on telling that the Pharisees and the Sadducees and the Sanhedrin are of the synagogue of Satan? He kept calling them vipers, or something like that. That you are of the dark one, or that's what he said about Esau, or something like that. You are of the lawless one. So I'm trying to tell you, some people are saying it in here. Thank you in the comments. I'm trying to tell you, Yahuwah said, you, Adam, there's going to be descendants that are going to come out of your seed. And I'm gone. I need you to preserve your life, because my Ben, my Yahusha, my son is going to be a descendant of you, the house of David, who will be a descendant of you. But there's going to be another seed that is not. Why else would he say that I need you to stay alive? Because there's going to be descendants from you. It's because there's going to be descendants of the lawless one. Does that not make sense? There's going to be a separate class of beings. And I'm trying to tell you that separate class of beings is what Eve birthed. Yeah, righteous versus lawless. Plaintiff versus the defendant. Red versus blue. Red versus blue. Democrat versus Republican. And I'm not saying that they're one is good or bad. Just hear me out when I say this. There's always this yin and yang, this duality crap. It's one that is righteous and it's one that is lawless. There's one that follows Yahuwah. There's one that serves Lucifer. There's one that was born from Yahusha. And I mean, you know what I mean, born. I mean, you know what I'm saying? From the lineage of David, Jacob, Isaac. And then there's one of Ham, Canaan, Canaanites. And if you're new here, I told you exactly like Esau and Isaac. If you're new here, I told you that the term cannibal comes from Cain ate Abel. He didn't just unalive him. He ate. This is where you get cannibalism, okay? Where Yahuwah told you. Why do you think Yahuwah kept on telling you, do not touch anything that is dead? It says it in scripture about 5,000 times. It's because Cain was not human. But I'm just making that all up. So anyways, I hope you all enjoyed this. That was fun. I like this. So, all right, we stopped at 18, okay? So we'll be back tomorrow or something like that. Yeah, Cain is Lucy's son. Most definitely. Yes, Cain, seed of the serpent. Okay. Heffertree. Yeah, I'm going to have to put that on there. Heffertree. That's a bunch of heffertree. Everything that we just read is a bunch of heffertree. Okay? No, Cain would not be a Nephilim. Nephilim is from when the Watchers, they birthed. Well, yeah, Cain would be a Nephilim. Well, Cain would be a Nephilim, but I think he was more so of a half. He was a, yeah, I could see him. Yeah, that would. But Enoch didn't say anything about the Nephilim yet. Cain is Nephilim. Yeah, I would say that. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. That's something I'm not going to agree on that right now or disagree. I'm going to have to check that out. Okay. Yes, to all of you who are leaving, have a blessed Baruch Shalom. I'm not saying I disagree or agree. That's something I have to check. Yeah, someone says he wasn't a giant. See, yeah, that's what I'm saying is because we didn't hear about the Nephilim, the Eliod, the Chimeras, the hybrids. We didn't hear any of the gene splicing and stuff until Enoch. I'm just saying. So, all right, anyone, let's have a word of prayer and then I'm out of here. Dear Yahuwah, we thank you. Dear Yahuwah, we thank you for today. We thank you for another lesson. There's a lot that I learned, you know, and I'm sorry to everyone listening that I don't have any answers because I'm just learning this. And this is just amazing. It's just something to think about, to put a pin on it, and for us to get, most importantly, grow closer with you. We know that the time is coming and Yahusha is about ready to return. It's literally in scripture. Okay. We are at the end. I believe this. And if no one else believes it, I don't care. I'm getting the hell up out of here anyways, out of America, because it says in 2nd Esdras that America, which is the eagle, is about ready to be lit on fire. It's going to be another Sodom and Gomorrah. So I pray that everyone wakes up and says, listen, it's time to flee. It's time to stop shaboodling. It's time to stop getting drunk. It's time to stop fornicating. It's time to stop watching the computer. It's time to stop cheating, being an adulterer. It's been time to stop doing all this stuff. But I'm asking, Father, that they just wake up tonight and say, listen, I want to turn to you, the truth, and not be in darkness anymore so we can be in paradise forever. We love you. In Yahushua HaMashiach's name, shalom. All right, everyone. Blessings. Good night.